But also find that if people come in first and understand themselves, and the natural question that comes next is, okay, well, what terrain is my husband at? Or what terrain is my mother at? Or what terrain is my colleague or my boss at work? And so then people start to ask, their friends to do it, or if their friends don't want to do the quiz, they just read more and learn more and try and guess themselves. Because once you understand where you're at and you really get that, and especially if you've shifted, then you will have a really deep understanding of the previous terrain because you've already lived there for a number of years or decades. And then you can see why you're no longer seeing the world the same way as the people you used to hang out with 10 years ago, and you meet up with them and you're like, wow, I've really shifted. But if you're in a really deep relationship with someone like a marriage or a colleague or your family, and they are at a different terrain from you, it can create a lot of conflict. I mean, obviously personality differences can create conflict and lots of things can create conflict, but we found many people understand that already. They know my father's an introvert and I'm an extrovert. That's well known, but people don't know that they're actually at a very different place in their spiritual journey, and their relationship to reality is very different, and that can actually cause some really big conflict. And we're seeing it in the world at the moment in how people are reacting to COVID. And just generally, everyone's like, oh my God, I can't understand why everyone's not seeing it the way I am. That's because they're actually a very different terrain.
Right.
Because these are parallel universes, and each one has its own colored glasses through which it's seeing the world. And so you could be sitting next to someone who's seeing it through a completely different colored pair of glasses, and you're seeing literally the same thing but two different things.
Yeah, and so if you understand it, you can start to resolve conflicts a lot easier. Even if the other person doesn't know their terrain, just you yourself understanding where that person's coming from means you can communicate in different kinds of language, and you can really speak to things that make that person feel safe at their point that they're at in their journey, because you understand that, and then the conversations become easier and there's a lot less conflict. So that's one of the reasons why it's really exciting.